United Drone Holdings. I'm Grace, and welcome back, Sean. It's great to have you in the studio again today.
It's really nice to be here, Grace.
Actually talking about something really interesting that's just around the corner.
That's correct, yes. It's the DroneCon conference.
What is DroneCon?
So DroneCon is a 3-day commercial drone conference. And the intention of the conference is really to educate and stimulate the South African commercial drone market.
Who would be interested in coming to DroneCon?
So firstly, we're looking at handling the regulatory requirements. So people from the CAA are likely to be there, consulting companies, and operators that are looking to understand, what do they need to do to be compliant, what are the rules and how do they impact them. The conference also then starts to talk about education and training. So there's training organizations that will be there, pilots that are wanting to better understand the environment. And so it really, the audience is quite wide, and it's likely that anybody that has a commercial interest in drones really should be attending the conference.
Yeah, I think I need to be there as well. Sean, what would be your involvement in DroneCon?
So DroneCon is, I suppose it's my baby. And the reason that we've stood behind DroneCon and that I put a lot of energy into it is that the industry is so new, and there's a huge need for clarification and education, as well as an opportunity for people that are in the industry to get together and to help build this industry. Last year I attended the Interdrone conference in Las Vegas. It was also a 3-day event, and I learned so much in such a short time that I felt it was absolutely critical that something like that happens in South Africa.
Well, thank you so much. I think it is needed in South Africa, and hopefully a lot of people attend to hear the industry speakers and the great amount of information that they have to offer us. Are a lot of the speakers from only South Africa?
So, when it comes to putting on a conference, I'm not a conference person and we're not a conference business, but when we're putting a conference together, we're trying to keep the cost as low as possible. And so it would be fabulous to bring in international speakers from America, Australia, France and other developed countries, but the reality is just too expensive. So the speakers, there's 35 speakers that will be at DroneCon. There's one international speaker, which is a chap that's coming from Kenya, to talk about some of the regulations and the way that they're looking to deal with them in the East Africa bloc. But everybody else is really a relative expert from South Africa. And like I said, it's all part of tapping into the expertise that's in this country already and trying to keep the cost as low as possible.
Affordability seems to be an issue. What would you say to someone who is thinking that the cost of attending this conference is too high?
I think for those that are experiencing affordability issues, it's a very real thing. The drone industry is new. A lot of the players that are coming into it are small businesses, individuals, etc. And I completely understand that money is tight. I think when we look at putting a conference on, our intention of being involved in this, my intention of being involved in this, is not to make money. It's to help the industry to grow. And so if one looks at the cost of setting up the conference, I got a quote initially from a professional conferencing company, and just for their time, their quote was over R1 million. So if you add up the cost of the venue, the cost of the food, all the production, etc., that comes into putting these things on is expensive. At the same time, we realize that there are people that really need to be there that can't afford it, and so in cases where we get special requests, we've been making a plan. The fact of the matter is that the more people that are better educated, the faster the industry grows, the better it is for everybody. And ultimately that's the driving force behind DroneCon.
So we understand, obviously, there is a cost to attend this conference, but I'm pretty sure that there's going to be a lot more value-added experiences for people. So what are some of the things that's going to be happening over the 3 days?
So I think over the 3 days, the intention is to cover almost all of the aspects of commercial drone activities in South Africa. So like I mentioned earlier on, there's an understanding of what the regulations are. And these are important things because what we find on a daily basis is that people go and spend money getting themselves trained up as drone pilots and then wake up and realize that they actually can't do anything with it and feel that they've wasted their money. And this is a real problem, it's a real challenge. And so for those people that are looking to be commercially active, it's a huge opportunity to learn from other people's mistakes, to better understand how to set this business up, and so not to have the disappointment that some people have experienced. The overall intention is that you'd come to the conference and you'd learn a lot. There's a huge amount of learning. You'd understand where the areas are, where the businesses are expanding, where the opportunities lie for you to set up your business. You'll be able to see drones fly. There's going to be a flying net, so you can practically see these things work. And if we're very lucky and get it right, you'll actually be able to see them processing and doing commercial type of work in a controlled environment. So I think that's going to be a fairly unique environment. Other things that you'll get there, you'll be learning how to set up cameras. So practical tips and techniques that can allow you to be a better operator. So, there's 35 speakers that are coming in. Each of them have been chosen to address the requirements of the industry. So there's a lot of speakers, much more speakers than what you'd normally find in a conference this long. Possibly too many. I mean, we'll realize this as things go along. We'll get feedback and people will say that they were, it worked well and they learned, or that they felt it was too much, or maybe it's even too little. So, we're learning here. This is new to us. You have to start somewhere.
We know that United Drone Holdings is obviously involved in DroneCon and putting on this entire conference, but what does that mean for competition and for other companies and other marketplaces involved with the drone industry?
So as I mentioned before, the intent of this conference is to get the industry learning, to get everybody together, to start driving the industry in a way that allows it to get out of the starting gates and become a proper developing business. So, this is certainly not a UDH play. I mean, all the major competitors will be there. Many of them are speaking there because ultimately these are people that are knowledgeable and have a level of expertise that they can bring to the South African market. So I would say to anybody that's watching this, if you're interested in drones, if you are actively involved at the moment in the commercial drone space, come and attend. There's exhibition space. There's the opportunity for networking, there's the opportunity to brush up on all the legalities involved, and I think ultimately it's about building a community of professional people that can develop this industry into the exponential industry that it's going to be.
Sean, can you tell us where this will be taking place?
So DroneCon will take place from the 7th to the 9th of June. And it's at the Vodacom World Convention Centre, so it's nicely located in Midrand, a Gautrain station not too far from there for people that are coming in from other areas. And it's a technology place. I think drones are technology. The Vodacom World gives you that sense of being at the cutting edge.
For the rest of us who may not be able to attend this year, is there going to be a DroneCon next year?
Yes, to answer your question, the intention is to make this an annual event. And I'm hopeful that it'll become a regional event because I think there's a level of harmonization that needs to take place. And with the developments that are coming in, at some point hopefully there'll be a large sponsor that takes it and allows us to make this free or at least easily available to everybody that's interested in this exciting technology.
Oh, it sounds absolutely exciting. Thank you all of you for tuning in today. Thank you, Sean, again for coming into the studio and talking about this really exciting event that's just around the corner. We hope to see you there. Sean, would you like to say any last words?
Oh, I have to just say thank you so much for your time. It's always great to be here. And if you are thinking about the drone future, DroneCon's the right place to attend. It's absolutely worth taking 3 days off to come and get that experience. So I hope to see you guys there.